First up, we have Carson Sinclair. He has 2 will, 2 book, 2 fist, and 2 feet, and the title of Assistant. You may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used on the below action ability. Choose another investigator at your location, then immediately take an action after your turn limit was per round. Elder Sign effect, +0, draw 1 card. You may resolve this effect anytime another investigator at your location resolves an Elder Sign effect. Kinda neat, kinda hard to pull off. Weakness, Selfless to the Fault. It is a flaw. Revelation, put Selfless Fault in play in your threat area at the end of your turn. If you did not commit at least 1 card to a skill test performed by another investigator's turn, take 1 horror and shuffle Selfless to the Fault into your deck. He has 2 copies of As You Wish, has 3 wild pips, so that's kind of cool. Carson Sinclair deck only, commit only to a skill test being performed by another investigator. If this test succeeds, performing investigator draws 1 card. If this card test fails, you draw 1 card. Kind of a weird support character. What is the back? So, deck size 30, secondary class choice. At deck creation, choose Seeker, Mystic, or Survivor. Deck building options, Guardian cards level 1, 0 to 5. Neutral cards 0 to 5, and up to 10, 0 to 1 events or skills of your chosen secondary class. It's kind of odd. Deck building requirements, 2 copies of As You Wish, and Selfless to the Fault with 1 random basic weakness. Interesting take on a weird support guardian. It's like a really odd version of Carolyn Fern that wants to play skills and Silas mixed together, but he's not good at anything. Cool. So we have 2 copies of Hunter's Armor. It's a 4-cost asset. It adds a will icon. Item armor and is customizable. Soaks for 2 and 2. Hunter's Armor enchanted. So this new customizable option thing is really cool. Basically, you spend experience to unlock it. I think you can't spend more than 10, and half of it is actually the card's level. Let's just double check to make sure. Customizable card level is equal to half the total number of boxes check marked on the upgrade sheet rounded up. An upgrade sheet cannot have more than total 10 check boxes marked. Spending experience points on 1 or more upgrades for a customized card already invested, consider be upgrading all cards in the purpose of the card effects. An investigator may directly purchase 1 or more copies of a new customizable card with 1 more upgrades by spending only the amount of experience required to purchase those upgrades. Doing so counts as purchasing a new card, not upgrading an existing card. Interesting. Upgrades for customizable cards are considered to be present on cards at all time, even while it's in out-of-play area, such as Investigator's Hand or Discard Pile. Spending 1 or more experience points on an upgrade on a customizable card's upgrade sheet is permanent and cannot be refunded. During gameplay, upgrade sheets should be placed out of play area nearby so they're quickly referenced. And additional sheets can be downloaded and printed from Fantasy Flight games. So these abilities are kind of neat. We have Hunter's Armor, gains the Relic trait, takes up an Arcane slot instead of a body slot. Yeah, that's pretty decent for Guardians. They don't really need that Arcane slot. I don't know if I'd actually pay an experience to do that. Protective Runes, Hunter's Armor may be assigned damage and or horror dealt to other investigator location. That's kind of nice, but 2 and 2 kind of weak for 4. And it's 2 XP to do it? I don't really like that. Durable gets +2 health. Hollow gets +2 sanity. Lightweight armor gets cost -1, and playing it does not provoke tax opportunity. Still seems kind of heavy. Hex Drinker. After 1 or more damage or horror assigned to Hunter's Armor from a treasure effect, you may exhaust it to draw a card. That might be worth it. Armor of Thorns. After 1 or more damage or horror is assigned to Hunter's Armor from any attack, you may exhaust it to deal 1 damage to an enemy. Seems pretty decent. Here we have the Runic Axe. It is unique. Costs 4. Adds a fist icon. It's an item, weapon, melee, customizable card. Uses 4 charges. Replenish 1 of these charges at the start of each round. Action, fight, +1. You get +1 fist for this attack. Before this attack, you may spend any number of charges to imbue the axe with a different inscription. So you can choose accuracy to get +2 or power to get +1. I don't know that many different inscriptions. That seems pretty cool. It's like a fire axe. It's very God of War-ish. The Leviathan axe. That's what I'm gonna start calling this thing, but pretty sure that's like a copyright reason. And our customizable abilities. Heirloom asset gets -1 cost and gains relic trait. A relic's gonna be important in this set. Inscription of Glory. Add this Inscription of Glory attack. Defeats an enemy. Choose to draw 1 card, heal 1 damage, or heal 1 horror. So that's really, really good right there. And it's only 1 experience. Damn, that's a good deal. Inscription of Elders. Add this Inscription of Elders. Attack succeeds by amount equal or greater than the location shroud. Discover 1 clue. That's really good. Inscription of the Hunt. Add Inscription of the Hunt. Immediately move to a connected location. Engage them. Yeah, that's a good ability too. Inscription of Fury. Add the Inscription if attack successful. Additional standard damage to once. Ooh. I'm digging this axe. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 XP. You do a bunch of crazy stuff. Ancient Power. You may imbue the same inscription up to 3 times. That's a lot of flexibility. And so 4, 7 should be 4 XP axe. That is totally worth it. That is awesome. Saga. Replenish 2 of the remaining charges at the start of each round. That's yeah, just take all the inscriptions, Ancient Power, and Saga. That's awesome. And then last, we have Script Weaver. For every charge spent, you may imbue the axe with up to 2 different inscriptions. Really, really liking this axe. It is 2-handed though, and that kind of sucks, but this axe is awesome. Oh, I'm definitely going to feel like Kratos with this thing. Next up, we have Custom Modifications. 3 cost event. Adds a foot, adds a fist. Which is an upgrade and a supply for its traits. Of course, it's customizable. Attach to a firearm asset you control, limit 1 per asset. That's kind of lame. But, I mean, I guess it encourages you to use firearms. When you reveal a non-autofill Chaos token while attacking an attached asset, exhaust custom modification, cancel the Chaos token, return it back, and reveal a new one. Seems kind of weak for 3, but let's see what the upgrades are. We have a Notch Sight. If you perform an attack with attached asset against an enemy engaged with another investigator, you fail. So, Blackjack. Extended Stock, cost 2, get +2 while attacking, +2 fist. I mean, that's pretty decent. 2 cost, counterbalance after you attach an upgrade card other than custom modification asset, draw a card. Seems a little costly. 3 cost, leather grip custom modification, gets -1 cost, and gains fast. Play only during your turn. I don't really know if I like that. Extended magazine. After ammo is spent from or placed on attached asset by another event, place 1 out. Don't know if I like that. 4 cost, Quicksilver bullets. If you succeed by 3 or more while attacking with attached asset, so your rogue abilities. I don't know about this one. This one seems a little overpriced to me and doesn't really offer that much. So we have the Obsidian Bracelet here. 3 cost asset, adds brain, traits or item and charm. Obsidian Bracelet may only be assigned damage and or horror dealt by treachery effects. I mean, 3 for 3/3/6, pretty good. So that restriction's not too bad. Obsidian Bracelet may be assigned damage and or horror dealt. Yeah, that's pretty flexible. It does take up a hand slot though. Then we have Bolas. Evade. Attempt to evade using fist instead of foot. If you succeed and the enemy is not elite, attach Bolas to it. Kind of helpful. Attached enemy gets -1 evade value. After the attached enemy moves, exhaust it. That's pretty handy. You don't have to kill stuff as a guardian all the time now. It's a little bit of threat management. Don't know. Foot values for guardians up by heads, and I'm usually killing things. And then we have Breach the Door. Very thematic. It's an event, cost 2, book, and a fist. Test one fist. If you succeed, attach breach the door to your location with one resource on it. For each point you succeed by as leads, reduce the attached location shroud value by one for each lead on breach the door. That's pretty handy, but I don't know. Leviathan Axe seems to be a better investment, really. Don't know how I feel about these. So we have Grievous Wound. It's an event, cost 1, and it can be pitched for 2 fist. Fast action. Play after you successfully attack a non-elite enemy using a melee asset. Attach Grievous Wound to the attacked enemy. Force at the end of the round, deal 1 damage to attach it. Seems really cool with the bolos. Not sure if bleeding something off is good, especially since it's not elite enemies, but that'd be broken if it was. Especially, what's the guy in Dunwich in the cave? Just hit him and run away. Then we have an event. Motivational speech. Spirit trait. Parlay. Choose an investigator at location. That investigator can play an ally asset from their hand, reducing cost by 3. Can Calvin take this? I gotta double check on that. That is a... Well, parlay... Well, no, it's not a test. It's just the action. That's really cool. That is probably an auto-include especially. God, Tommy would love that. That's a great card. And then we have another event here. Cost 1, 1 in the chamber, fist and a foot. Traits are fortune and tactic. Fast, play at the end of your attack or effect that spends the less ammo from a firearm asset you control. Add 1 ammo to that asset. You get plus 3 skill value to your next attack with the asset this round. That's just kind of handy, really. You really need that 1 bullet, especially if you get that bonus. Don't know if I really like it, though. I mean, I don't really use firearms because reloading is kind of the issue with firearms. And a lot of melee weapons are just better. Enchanted Blade is one of my favorite weapons in this game. Could be handy. So now we got some skill cards come up in the stack. We have Fighting Lessons. It's a fist, a foot, and a wild. Just practiced, so practice is great. But only do a skill test during attack or evasion attempt. Okay, another daring, I believe. You can commit this skill to an investigator's test at any location. That's pretty flexible. It's either foot or evade. Yeah, that's pretty handy. Skill Helping Hand. Innate. You may commit Helping Hand to any type of test. Max 1 per test. While Helping Hand is kind of a skill test. Double all skill tests of each other. Yeah, that seems pretty powerful if you're doing a multi-skill build. I guess that helps Carson, but I feel like that's a really good Silas card. Kind of broken. Bestow Resolve as an asset. It is 2 cost, 2 experience. Pitch for Brain. It is a ritual. Uses 4 charges. Fast action during a skill test performed by an investigator at your location or connecting location. Spend 1 charge. Commit a non-weakness card from your hand to the skill test. Treating all of the skill icons as question marks. That's pretty cool. Definitely goes with Helping Hand. It is a spell. Yeah, there's some pretty good jank potential with that. So we have Field Agent. Cost 4 as an asset. Ally. Book and a foot. Asset traits are Ally and Agency. Get plus 1 book. Exhaust Field Agent. Deal 1 horror to discover 1 clear location. I don't know if I like her. I think Kurt Wagner's a lot better. Alright, we finally get upgraded Guard Dog with the new art. Instead of using that player design card art. Pitch for a Brain and a fist. Ally creature, exhaust Guard Dog. Engage an enemy at your location. That enemy attacks you. Kinda neat. When an enemy deals damage or horror to Guard Dog, deal 1 damage attacking him. I mean, that's pretty handy with the engage abilities. Great with Zoe and all those other investigators that love engaging. And then we have upgraded handcuffs. What did they do to fix this card? Cost 1, 2 experience, fist, and a foot. It is an item, police, fast. Action if handcuffs is not attached to an enemy, evade. Use only on humanoid enemies. Your evasion attempts. Use his fist instead of foot. If successful, remove all doom from the justified enemy. Remove all doom, huh? If attached enemy is non-elite, it cannot ready. Okay, same phrase. Yeah, this feels like it's just, I don't know. Feels like there's gonna be a lot of doom on stuff. But I'm glad they upgraded handcuffs. I believe it's cheaper. So we have an upgraded Prepare for the Worst. 2 experience, cost 0. Pitch for a book, a fist, and a foot to prepare for the worst tactic. Choose an investigator location. That investigator searches the top 9 cards of their deck for a weapon asset, adds it to their hand, or plays it. Paying recourse costs and showing. For 2 experience, I don't know if that's worth it. Then we have Martyr's Vampirist, unique, cost 2, and then 3 experience. That's pretty heavy. Pitch for a will in a wild. Item charm, armor, get +1 skill value, resolving revelation abilities on encounter cards. Well, that's already good. Reaction, after investigator location draws a non-peril encounter card before resolving card's effect. You may exhaust marker face, you are considered a draw. 6 for 2 and 2 and takes up a accessory slot. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but the stuff for 2 and 2, that's pretty good. But XP wise, a little heavy. And then we have Gerdish Kadad Kijo. He is a 4-cost ally that costs 4 XP too. Pitch for brain in a wild. Ally police. Maybe an asset and or horror. We're talking about maybe assigned damage and or horror dealt to another investigator location. Facts action during a skill test being performed and investigator location exhaust. That investigator has +2 skill value for his test. If this test is successful, he'll 1 damage, 1 horror. Oh, that's pretty handy. Got 4 XP though, and he costs 4. But it's a neat ability and has the ability to stick around longer. I don't know. I feel like there's better allies. I'd rather buy Tetsuo and just have him die and get me stuff. Brother Xavier seems more handy. Yeah, we'll see. I feel like allies and Doom placement would be really good in this set. We have a new Ever Vigilant, upgraded, costs 0, 4 XP, pitch for brain, 2 book. It is a tactic, 1 at a time. Investigators at your location, such as a group, may play 4 assets total from their hands, reducing the resource cost. Yeah, that could be really powerful. Really situational too, but that's a great opening hand card. Yeah. 4 XP put into resource cost. Yeah, that's pretty good in a good group game, especially for players if you're just at the starting location opening hand card. That's pretty awesome.